top NBA draft pick Cade Cunningham has signed a sponsorship with BlockFi that will see him receive his signing bonus in Bitcoin. The multi-year deal involves a collaboration with the sports star on educational and promotional videos. Now, I am all for well-known celebrities and athletes getting on board and doing these educational videos if they are actually interested in the space and they are educating themselves. And the fact that he's taking his signing bonus in Bitcoin tells me that he is interested in the space. I think Will just say that, he likes money. So I'm going to pass this down to you, Will. What do you think of this? I think it's great.
Was that a Zach Vol sighting?
That was a rare Zach Vol sighting.
Wow.
For those who know who that
So
is.
many things happen in your background, Will. I think that should be another segment. What's happening at Will's house?
There's a lot going on here.
Spotted. Amazing. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Who is asking the question and who is answering it?
I was asking the question, Will. You're answering it.
I'm answering it.
What do you think of this BlockFi
Bitcoin
partnership?
And sports
athletes
desk.
And education. Let's hear it.
Athletes. Okay. No, I'm with you on that. I think they should be educating themselves. I think it's just natural. Like there's a lot of money in the space. And when these stars are coming out, they're getting nice paychecks. If it's in Bitcoin, it's pretty trendy right now. And so they want to sign into this stuff. I met and was talking with Russell Kung, who was one of the first people to get into this Bitcoin as a payment option for contracts. And he was talking about that as well. There's a huge interest from the sports community about educating themselves financially. Historically, they haven't had that ability. They've had people work on their contracts for them. And then those people often can take money away from them, or they don't make as much money over the lifetime of their career. And, you end up broke, or you don't get as much as you're supposed to from whatever work you're putting in. And that's tragic and frustrating for those players. But Bitcoin is not only a means of learning about cryptocurrency, but also a means of learning about financial assets in general. So big to see this trend continuing. Not super shocking to me. Throw it to you, Ben, or maybe Zach.
Yeah,
I don't know whose hand was up.
It was me. No, but cool. I think what's interesting here, kind of reading, I'm just letting you know while I talk. The interesting here is reading between the tea leaves a little bit for me. Obviously, BlockFi has had a rash of regulatory scrutiny from a variety of different states looking at its kind of, savings plan that offers, a higher AYP. And I think that this kind of shows that they're not potentially too worried about that. They're kind of proceeding with business as usual. They're still trying to raise the profile of, their own offerings and the company itself in terms of who's going to have access to it. So to me, this says that they're not so concerned about that regulatory scrutiny because they still want more people coming on, even as some states have sort of frozen people opening new savings accounts with them. But Zach, I'll toss it down to you.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I would love to know when this deal was signed and when it was announced, and whether or not all that kerfuffle over that state securities regulators was in between those two dates, because I think that's really interesting. I will say that, just like the sports tie-ups are becoming really quite notable. I mean, you had the top NFL pick sign a deal with Blockfolio, which is now FTX, which also paid him in crypto. I mean, you have all sorts of people who are learning this. And, you talk to managers of athletes, and I was speaking to one, and he's like, a big part of my job is informing these guys that, think of your money as employees, right? You got to put those employees to work. And I think crypto is a key avenue for them to sort of make that statement clear to them, because, hey, these are assets that might appreciate in value over time. And to Will's point, it's a way to think about sort of financial planning in a way that's more tangible to basically young guys who are coming straight out of college and getting their books in order for the first time. So it's interesting to see this happen, I think, again, with a prominent pick. But I'll toss it to you, Jen.
I think the basketball community has created such a community around crypto, and I think it started with NBA Top Shot. I mean, we heard Danny Green on First Mover a few months ago say that they all talk about it with each other in the change room. They're educating each other. There was a story in ESPN that said that they're buying each other's clips as NFTs on NBA Top Shot. So it feels like they've created this real community around crypto in basketball, and I think that's really cool. I was going to talk to Naomi to get her involved. Okay, fine. Let's hear it, Ben.
Counterpoint, it was Spencer Dinwiddie who started this. It wasn't Tops, but Zach, in terms of putting money to work, my sad thought there was just oh no, we're all just middle managers now. That was my thought about it. So
is change room Canadian for locker room?
Yeah.
I think that was a Canadian. Wait, I think we heard some Canadian.
I got it. You
Yeah.
got it,
Yeah.
right? Naomi,
Yeah, of
Naomi
course
just
I
said
got
on a
it.
different
I'm
level.
part of the Commonwealth.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will, I saw your hand go up though.
No, that was my only thought. I was just
That was it.
clarifying. I was confused.
Naomi, I was going to ask
when
you.
hockey, Jen.
Yeah, honestly, when hockey. I was going to ask you, Naomi, now we're seeing all of these huge crypto brands partner with massive names in sports and teams, and we're not hearing about the brands that we're used to seeing. Like, I mean, they're all still out there, but these big splashes are happening in the media. Like, is this what signals ultimate mainstream adoption when BlockFi can do this and it's not Nike offering a deal like this?
I think that we've been in mainstream adoption for a while now. The fact that there are so many institutional players diving in, that we have so many celebrities talking about this, we have people accepting their paychecks in Bitcoin, we have people selling JPEGs for just astronomical amounts, and celebrities getting involved with that. Like, we're here. This is mainstream adoption, most prominently signaled by the amount of regulatory scrutiny that we're now getting in the industry. That's clearly, going mainstream when the government starts to really, inspect this deeply. But we'll see where this goes there. I believe in the decentralization of this movement, moving away from a lot of company structures to a more decentralized setup as a response to this regulation.